Welcome back to eBEFOREi Video Reviews. Today I'm back with another Transformers Robots in Disguise Warrior class figure. This is one I've been looking forward to for a long time. It's Thunderhoof. Thunderhooves. You know who he is. Anyway, this guy has been really hard to find. He was released not in the United States up until very recently. I think he came out in Canada and overseas, just not where I'm at here in the US. So when Hasbro Toy Shop put this guy on their website, I was very quick to grab him up. Him and Quillfire. He's over here waiting for another review some other time. But right now we're talking about Thunderhoof. I really like this figure. Does he stand up with the likes of Megatronus and his Decepticon henchmen? Does he? That's what I'm here to answer. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm talking to you. Even you. So anyway, let's get into the details. First of all, he comes transformed in a robot in the box. So we'll start him off this way. Let's take a close and personal look. Uncomfortably close. I love that we get a piece of farm equipment here. He truly is a robot in disguise dressed as farm equipment. It's the last place I would look for a robot. But anyway, here's his head sculpt. Up close, looks great. It's very, cartoon, kind of animated look to it. Love the classic shell face inside with the crest up on the front, blue paint inside the crest. Red painted eyes, no light piping, but how could you? He's got this giant antler thing on his head. That looks very nice. Shoulders are nice and broad. Decepticon symbol, scan it for free if you want to. I've never scanned one, but some of you might have. Lots of posability. He does have some waist swivel, which is cool for the warrior class. Let's take a look at the paint detail on him. The theme here is black and blue. It's what you get. You get black and you get blue. Any questions? Oh, there's some red. Not to be forgotten about. You've got some red there. But basically black and blue trim. If you get a closer look at the plastic, the RiD line uses a lot of this sparkle kind of metallic plastic, which looks great, and they use it a lot on their figures, and it looks really good here. You can see it in the black, you see it in the blue right there. So very, very nice. Red trim inside the leg, or on the kneecap, I suppose. Black hooves, which is awesome, because he's Thunderhoof, and he's like a goat thing. That's kind of cool. Again, red detail. Spinny wheels. I want to show you the figure all the way around. The detail, again, is very nice. He is hollow, which is not too uncommon for RiD figures. Lots of hollowness here, and he's very skinny. Kind of reminds me of how the Transformers Prime Deluxe smokescreen, he was kind of flat like a pancake. It's kind of the same thing. Sorry, I got distracted by pancakes. I love pancakes. Anyway, moving on. So that's kind of the deal there. He is, like I said, hollow, but he doesn't feel terribly hollow in hand. He's a good quality plastic. Doesn't feel like he's going to break or be brittle in your hands or anything like that. Getting into posability in robot mode, his head turns left and right. There's not really an up or down, so you're not going to get that. He does have a ball joint right there in the shoulder. There is a little bit of rubbing there. That's what she said. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's not, it's not a deal breaker, but if you want to do funky poses with his arms, you're going to hit an antler unless you kind of turn his head a little bit. He has a ball joint there inside of the elbow, little wrist swivel due to transformation. I love that he's got this little tailpipe that he becomes in his tractor mode that comes out like a weapon here, kind of like Starscream would point his entire forearm at you and go ahead and give me your best shot kind of thing. That's cool. I mentioned earlier he does have waist swivel, which is awesome for warrior class. Ball joint right there, and lots of joints in the legs. You've got one right at the knee, and then his foot also bends due to transformation, but because of that, you can get this guy in some pretty amazing poses, which is cool. Before we get to transformation, let's take a look at his weapon real quick. No paint, which sucks, but it's cool. It's kind of a neat weapon. It's very flat, just like Thunderhoof. It's flat, but very neat detail. Lots of in plastic molding. Kind of a, chainsaw look along with the pew-pew-ness that it can do. So pretty cool there. Now let's get on to transformation. Actually, for size comparison real quick, he stacks up, because the antlers, he's actually a lot taller if you count that in size, whereas Quillfire is a lot shorter, but he's really good. Maybe we'll get into him in another review, but I like this guy a lot. Now on to transformation. His transformation's pretty unique, it's inventive, it's creative, it's all good. I like it. First thing you want to do is you can take his antlers, and you can, well, actually, before we do that, let's separate the arms. Just pull down. They have a little tab that fits right inside of that little piece of plastic right there. So if you get those arms out of the way, then you can take his antlers and kind of widen them out. Ultimately, what you're going to do in his vehicle mode is you're going to tip these down. You can do that now, but I like to wait, and we're going to go ahead and turn the head all the way around while we're at it. Next, you want to get your thumb up under this little tab right there. This is tough the first time you do it, but after the first time, it becomes a lot easier. It's just out of the box. I really struggled with that, but you know, I think you can handle it. It's on a dual hinge. There's a screw right there, or a pin and a pin right there. So you get the dual hinge nest, and you just want to put it straight up. So now he's super tall, Thunderhoof. Like most of the RiD figures, you're going to want to do a waist swivel. You want to bend his waist down a little bit so that you clear this peg. Otherwise, it could get caught right there when you try to spin it around. So don't wreck your figure. Just give it a little bit of a spin, or a little bit of a crunch, I should say, and then you can spin the waist around, which is all good. Then you want to come to the feet, and you want to just push them in just like that. Take the fists, turn them inside, rinse and repeat on the other side. Now you can take the legs themselves and kind of squish them together. Just give it a nice snap. Did you hear that? Snap. Nice snapping sound there. Then you can take the arms, and if you tilt the guy like that, you sort of see what's happening. Here's the front windows, then this is the front section with the head like that. So you get the idea of what ultimately you're going to have to do with these wheels. You're going to want to take the waist and have him do a crunch, like a serious, like consolidated crunch, so that the section that becomes his legs actually bend up into the front of the tractor. Genius, I say. Very nice. Nicely done. All right, now you get a better idea what's happening with these wheels. So we're going to push them in and see how they tab as soon as I pull them over. You kind of tab them up like that. Do the same thing over here. Kind of get them tabbed up. Now you can take the hands and squeeze them together. There's a tab and a hole, and marry them up. Whole wedding ceremony. But you want to take that and you want to tab. You've got two little thingies, and you want to tab them into those thingy holes. And at this point, you want to just push everything together so that it tabs in place. Everything's got a spot. Tabs are in place. Tabs, you want to push this together. Get everything squished and pressed and squished some more. Now, you almost are done. The instructions don't explicitly say to do this, but I like to take the head at this point and bring the whole thing down, because you're not going to tractor the air. Thunderhoof's away. This vehicle mode is great, by the way. It's not often that you get a Decepticon farm tractor, and that's exactly what you have here. He's so compact, so small. To size compare him, here's Combiner Wars Legion class Hot Rod. They're like the same length. This is a tiny, tiny figure, and look at the tractors no longer other than the antlers. So he really consolidates down to a very small machine, but his robot size is normal for warrior class. So pretty ingenious, rolls very well. Let's take a closer look at vehicle mode. Color scheme remains about the same. You've got blue and black. That's what you have. A little bit of red trim. The red trim hits all the right places. You've got these lights on the front of the vehicle. Tractor, again, movable. You can also twist it. There is a head underneath. Hello. And some feet. But this guy compacts together so great that I love this figure a lot. Can you tell? Wheels are basic plastic. You've got fatter wheels or larger wheels on the back than you do the front, which gives it a very nice look. I think that's not an optical illusion. Yeah, no, they're bigger. Just like an actual tractor would be. The peg ends up kind of jetting out like a side mirror, which is neat. This part, I don't know why it's black here. I'm not sure. Maybe it's I don't know. I don't know. Not even going to try. I don't know. The weapons that were underneath his hands end up being the smokestacks on top. Again, I love it. Very cool, and his hands are tucked in right there. No paint on the back. That kind of sucks. It would have been nice to get something back here, but, you know, it is what it is. I kind of wish, and maybe the Takara version takes care of this. I'm not positive. Maybe someone in comments can tell me. But the joint here, it's painted black, and I get it. It looks cool in robot mode. In truck mode, it's just stupid because it's a black window. And you can't see out of a black window. The blue I kind of get, so that's cool. But that is your Thunderhoof in his vehicle mode. My overall thoughts, if you love Transformers and you love robots in disguise, or even if you don't, but you just like Transformers that have a cool alt mode and a cool robot mode, this guy is not a bad choice. He's a little bit thin, he's a little bit hollow, not too different than the rest of the line of the RiD figures, but he compacts down to such a small size, which is really a credit to the designers. And it's farm equipment. That is a robot in disguise. How could you go wrong? Highly recommended for your Transformer shelf. Anyway, oh, I should mention that there's weapon storage. But you've got a little tab that forms right there inside, and you've got that piece right there, and you can slot this right in. Give it a little push. It fits in there beautifully, and it just looks like motor equipment on the bottom. So, very neat weapon storage. Anyway, thanks again for watching eBEFOREi video reviews. If you like what I do, let me know in comments, or best thing that you can do for me is tell your friends, have them subscribe to my channel, and every time I release a video, which is whenever I feel like it, I promise you solid entertainment. At least I entertain myself. So, you can find me on Twitter at eBEFOREiNet, Facebook at eBEFOREi, and I have a private Facebook group if you want to just, you know, discuss toys with me on a fairly daily basis, show off your collection, whatever you want to do. Find a link at the bottom in the description and click subscribe. It's free and I'll approve you, and you have daily conversations with me about toys. What could be better? And there's a host of really cool people in there too. That's really what makes it cool. Anyway, so thanks again.